Welcome back, my brothers and sisters, to the Vanguardian News, this week's edition, and it's just a election wrap-up, and a lot of things are going on, as you know. Just a lot of different things. Donald Trump is still making false accusations regarding election fraud and fouling all these, which is his right to do, fouling all of these litigations and claims in courts, saying just stuff that's not, it's not substantiated. It's just, rhetoric and claims that he doesn't have any evidence. At least I haven't seen a piece of evidence. Now, if he's making a claim, I think the one in Pennsylvania regarding the situation with, I believe, Pennsylvania courts had changed or amended a law regarding absentee votes and mailing votes. Something to do with when they can actually, or you pose the stamp date line in between counting the votes. When is it allowed, or what's valid and what's not valid? So that'll come down to what the courts and what that'll go. What they say about that particular law in Pennsylvania. I'm just giving you a general take on how I interpreted that law. And what the disputes were. So he's in this litigation mode regarding. He is not no mention. I believe there was something I saw with Jared Kushner saying that he has spoken with his father-in-law, the president, regarding concession. But I didn't see or read anything too concrete about what time frame that might be, or whether Donald Trump will ever make a concession. I don't know what you do. I don't know what the etiquette is. I know you make it usually if the American people render their vote, and he had the popular vote, and overwhelmingly he had the electoral vote. Then there's a concession. But this is a strange year, as we all know, a tough year with dealing with the COVID-19 coronavirus and Donald Trump's bumbling of it. So there's nothing new. He feels and thinks that he have all the answers, and when he doesn't listen to anyone when it comes down to actual items that he can do regarding the coronavirus. He doesn't listen to the scientists. He doesn't want to see the numbers being counted. He doesn't believe in the numbers that's reported as far as corona deaths. So this is what you're dealing with, and the number speaks for itself. And the country ultimately made a decision regarding his handling or bumbling of this whole thing. So what people don't realize is that in order to get the economy back where it needs to be, and that's a big if at this moment, but to get it to a level where it needs to be, or what levels that we were before this whole pandemic pretty much knocked all those numbers out the box, obviously because of the shutdown. So you have to get the testing, and with more testing, you'll get more cases. And with the cases that you're going to get, the message has to be wear a mask and people have to continue to follow that protocol. And don't be too blasé about this virus, and as if it's not going to affect you, because believe me, it will affect you eventually if you continue to be careless. So I've been saying this for a long time. We just have to do what's necessary as a nation to combat this. It's not just the government, it's all of us in it together that we need to put all our resources and spread the word and continue to push the importance of staying with the protocol, wearing a mask, and it's not a political thing. It's just a healthy thing. This is a health crisis of the utmost, based on the number of deaths, over 200-some thousand people. So this is, we have to realize, and more people are getting infected. So we have to just realize that in order to beat this disease, we have to get smart. And in order to get smart, we have to listen to our elected officials. When it comes to, obviously Trump did not want to do anything that was profound, as far as everything was a political battle. Everything wasn't as serious as it should be. Everything was just basically with him, let's move on. But he failed in so many different levels. It's just not even funny. So I don't know. It's crazy. Yeah. So here is an article I wanted to see. Jared Kushner and Melania Trump advised Trump to accept election loss. And I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think that's going to happen. Trump's inner circle is beginning. God, this website just refreshed. Sorry about that. President Donald Trump's inner circle is beginning to split over the ongoing refusal to accept the results of the 2020 election, as Jared Kushner and First Lady Melania Trump advised him to come to terms with President-elect Joe Biden's victory, and his adult sons pressed him and allies to keep fighting. So his sons are telling him to keep fighting. Keep going, Pop. Keep hanging there, Pop. It's not fair. It's not fair. Oh my God. This is crazy. Let me go down here back to the sons. Meanwhile, Trump's two sons, Donald Jr. and Eric, have urged allies to continue to press on, as they have pushed Republican and supporters to the publicly rejected the results, even as CNN and other news organizations projected the race for Biden on Saturday. President, who was at golf course in Sterling, Virginia on Saturday when the race was called, has not denied the outcome of the election privately, even if he does so publicly. Oh man, sources told CNN. So this is reported by CNN. But he's continuing to push his attorneys to pursue legal challenges that would delay formal certification of the results. And he has made no public indication that he's ready to accept the results of the election. So there you go. That's your 45th president of the United States has refused to come to grips with the results of the election. A sitting president who's refusing to, basically he's refusing you guys, the elected, the registered voters, the people who voted for this country. He's rejecting you as your vote. Now we can't accept this. This is, it's really, I don't really say it's sad. It's just who he is. not being nobody but himself. This is who he is. This is who he is. This is who his supporters backed. And this is who they pushed. And all of his supporters basically accept this erratic behavior by their president. Well, the president of the United States. And, you know, he's not going to listen to anybody. He's going to take this as far as where it can go. He's going to end up looking like a fool. He's making it, he really is showing no decorum, no class. But, you know, he's done that for years. So this is who he is. I'm not shocked. I just get I think it's really, you know, a sad state in this country when you got a gentleman like that who, by the way, he ran a hell of a campaign, back-to-back good campaigns. I give him his props. He got his people out, and they voted, and he got into some areas. He got into some inroads that apparently, you know, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are going to have to, in the Democratic Party, you know, the Democratic Party are going to have to really regroup. Just because, look, they're going to have to really regroup. But, you know, this is who they are. They kind of, I wouldn't say, they show some arrogance every now and then. I mean, like, you know, certain places and stuff like that, you know, you're getting arrogant. Going into Texas last minute, we should have really been going to Miami or getting to those folks a little bit. But, you know, they was going after the white suburban vote. And that was the Democrats' plan from the beginning. And coupled with the plan on attacking these states like Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, They wanted to get Texas. They wanted to make inroads in Texas. So they started reaching out in Texas and those demographics down there. Also, holding on to Minnesota, really putting emphasis on Minnesota. There was a concern there that might flip, but they really kind of sewed up that wall. I was kind of shocked, but not shocked they didn't get Ohio. But they did get, you know, look, they got Nevada. And they got Arizona, which is key to them. And so it was key. It was key. Now, if they can keep it like that and continue on. Now, in the Senate, that's another thing. I don't know if they got the majority or not. Last I looked, I think Republicans had a 48 to 46 edge of seats. That's going to be key. But in the House, they had some people up for re-election, was able to get it. They lost some seats. So there's still work to do. There's still work to do for the Democrats. I believe Biden's going to become he's going to be moderate. I mean, obviously he's laid down the gauntlet that he's going to be a president for everybody in the United States. So, you know, you need to really come to terms with that. Because there's a lot still on the line, and Biden has a lot of work to do when he takes office. But I want to see what kind of, you know, still a fine line between the progressive Democrats and Democrats reaching out to. In knocking down that, it's trying to have that fine balance. It's not a fine balance. They just want that white suburban vote, and they're gonna have to prioritize because, like I said, that's your fractions in the party. So, is it gonna be new leadership out as a result of this election? Or is it gonna be reshifting, a strategy? All of those are on the table, I believe. You know, like I said, I'm in the process of really being more independent, but not independent long, but just being starting up my own party. But I'm not naive. I know I'm going to have to kind of endorse one of the parties, a favorite my agenda, whatever that is, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the Republicans go and how their strategy. So I'm looking at both parties. I'm going to see what the strategies and the plan is for both parties. So my whole thing is economic wealth, economic growth. Strengthening up black small businesses, inner cities, these low-income neighborhoods that, we really need to get them back to vibing and get them back to where they can reach their full potential. And that takes all of us. That takes us as a community. As a community, folks, we need to really take care of ourselves and take care of one another. And the sky is the limit. If we can all kind of tote that line and help each other out, and you got these libraries out here. There's a lot of books and knowledge that kids and everybody can use and take advantage of these things that we have around us. Now, albeit once everything get normal, and that's a big if, when it's going to get normal. We're heading into 2021. I'm heading in. We need to start preparing to see how those January, February, March, going into next spring, because it'll be here shortly. We've been in this pandemic, right now going on 9 months. A baby, a full pregnancy of this thing. So, as we close this year out, and just this past election, and just how this election was, it's time to reflect and take a breath and kind of absorb this whole year. Look, this year had some haymakers all the way through. It was a stormy year. It was a real tragic year for a lot of Americans. I don't need to tell you the death count of Corona. So I think it's time that we should start reflecting and build this country back up, just basically on good faith. Enough with the bickering and this, that, and the other. So we got a long way to go. Like I said, we got a president right now who's is not accepting the results of the American people, and that's concerning. Now, I don't know, when I took civics class, I don't know, we never was used to that as far as those were other countries where you see where there's disputes and people are not giving up power. They sort of robbing the coffers, as they say, before they get out of there. I mean, do we have to banish them? I mean, but this guy, so, what do we do with this guy, man? All right, thank you for watching this week's episode of the Vanguardian News. I'm your host once again, Mahfouz Al-Qadir, and I will see you soon. Take care, and we are out.